Welcome everyone. This is a follow-up questions that we received from our audience back in the webinar Mapping Value for Money on Precision Medicine, hosted by HITAP Thailand and the Swasri Hawk School of Public Health, National University of Singapore, and featured by our guest lecturer, Assistant Professor Wen Jie Shen, on 22nd of June 2023. And these are the answers to your questions on using NMB over ICER for meta-analysis of precision medicine. Could you please explain why the final outcome of a precision medicine study is typically presented in terms of net monetary benefit rather than incremental cost-effectiveness ratio?
Yeah, thank you for this question. I have to clarify that we did not make any specific recommendation of using net monetary benefit over ICER for the economic evaluation of PM. And when we were searching for the cost effectiveness studies on the topic of PM, a lot of them are actually reporting incremental cost effectiveness ratio. We converted ICER into net monetary benefit just for the ease of, for the purpose of this systematic review and meta-analysis. Because net monetary benefit, it follows the central limit theorem. So the endpoint is normally distributed, whereas ICER is a ratio that is not normally distributed. So we chose NMB because it's easier for us to conduct meta-analysis to summarize the NMBs compared to ICER. But it doesn't mean that we should use NMB for the economic evaluation of PM. Yeah, it's just for the purpose of this study in specific.
Drivers for value of money for precision medicine. Is it the ICER, the cost of precision medicine, or the fiscal space of the public payers that primarily drives the underutilization of precision medicine?
Well, economic barriers is one of the important reason for the underutilization of PM, and all these aspects, they are actually interrelated with each other. We may be there may be a general lack of clinical implementation piloting and subsequent economic evaluation, which is maybe one of the major reasons that the public payers, they're concerned about the clinical effectiveness and certain costs and benefits of the PM, which can all lead to an underutilization of PM. Yeah, but in general, it is the lack of clinical implementation and evaluation, and among a lot of other reasons. So HTA is there to help to reduce these type of uncertainties and to support public payers' decision making.
Could you please elaborate on the essential value drivers of genetic tests and provide further clarification?
Yeah, so the term essential means that we identify those value drivers from machine learning algorithm, and a typical outcome for when we are using machine learning based algorithm, sometimes we call the key the selected predictor to be essential features. That's why we use the term essential. In short, we have performed meta regression on approximately 25 to 30 covariates that we think may explain the source of heterogeneity in the value for money of precision medicine from our systematic review. And we performed a lasso, one of the panelized algorithm, to identify the key predictors that are directly explaining the variation in the value for money of PM across different studies. And we found that for a genetic test, incremental effectiveness is the one and most important value driver for value value driver, but also for PM test with less favorable cost effectiveness profile, like prognostic test. Sometimes the model specification, the choice of study perspective can affect it. And but on the other hand, for gene therapy and like a therapeutic PM, immunotherapy, gene therapy, in fact, the incremental effectiveness was not one of the major determinant of the the value for money. Rather, it is the study perspective, whether the study used a societal or healthcare systems perspective, and also it is the cost of the treatment that is driving the value for money of therapeutic PM.
Why does pharmacogenomics demonstrate the lowest R2 among the value drivers, and what are the implications of this observation?
The current identified potential sources of value heterogeneity from our study only explain about like 1/10 of the R square, or like a variability in the cost effectiveness profile of pharmacogenomic tests. This is because although we try hard to get as many variables as we could, but we are unable to get like every potential explanatory variables. So if the current covariates are unable to explain the majority of variability in the value for money of pharmacogenomic tests, that means there are also unexplained heterogeneities, and which we don't know what are they, but we believe it could be related to the disease burden itself, and it may be related to the cost of the treatment. And currently, we cannot separate the cost of treatment from the cost of test, and separate the cost of treatment from like the incremental test, because sometimes the pharmacogenomic test just goes with treatment to be like a unit cost.